up so high, you need a strength most don't possess. Or has it ever come down to do or die? You got to rise above the rest.
Welcome to Yellbrick Road. I am Jordan, and today we're going to react to some Matt Dillahunty, who has I guess a caller in, a MAGA caller, and I'm curious what both Matt Dillahunty is aware of politically, you know, what type of stories and stuff like that, or policy, and I'm curious what this MAGA person is going to say in response, or if he has policies himself that he's, I guess, in love with. But first, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We are in that Discord right now, and all opinions are welcome. And obviously, everything I show you in this video will be linked in that same description box for you to look at on your own without us pausing the video, sneezing, coughing, rambling, opinions you don't like, whatever. Go watch it on your own, you fuck faces. All links, description box. So before we get started with this Matt Dillahunty video, we're going to start here. It says, breaking, at least 16 files from the Epstein release disappeared from DOJ's website, including a photo of Trump with no explanation. And the photo they're talking about is the one where you see like a drawer open, and you see Trump with models in his arms and shit like that. And there's another one where it's him, it's Trump, Melania, Ghislaine, and Jeffrey Epstein.
Apparently, old news.
Well, yeah, basically. But why were the files deleted from the most recent release? Right?
I don't know.
They were taken down amongst 15 others. But what I heard is this: previously removed the Epstein file. Well, at least this one, right? This is the 468 one, which is the one with Trump in it, has been re-uploaded after widespread criticism. Now, I can't say what the reason is. I can't say I know. But people were like, yo, why are these files missing now? What happened? And maybe people saw
Trump
that.
Files? What is file 468?
That's the picture I described. There's a photograph of the desk with the drawer open. You see Trump's picture there with like models and shit. Of ages I don't know. I assume they're older because their faces were not blurred out. Or they fucked up with their redactions, right? But
yeah, there's a famous photo. He's like 4 or 5 women that are models that they're said, at least, these are adults.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know if you're referring to that one.
I don't know. It was like him and like 4 models, like 2 on each arm. Basically. But either way, like maybe it's just embarrassing, so let me like get rid of this. All right? Let me just sneakily
just tampering with evidence.
Yeah.
Just tampering with evidence with its own crime.
Yeah, but apparently at least that one got put back. So, to be fair. And once again, we just heard Kyle Kulinski say, like, what we got right now is only 1% of the trove of documents they have. So there's a lot more. There's a lot more to this. But, yeah, people should keep their eye out in case things go missing randomly. That's a very specific one that, like, just disappear out of nowhere. Just saying. But let's continue. Here is Marco Rubio. And he gets a question about Gaza and the idea of, like, two children per day dying over there. Here we go.
You said a few moments ago that everyone wants peace for Gaza.
That volume is terrible.
Hold on. Yeah, I barely hear anything.
Something with Twitter clips are just horrendous. I'm going to turn my end up. This one's full blast. Okay. All right. I mean, we got to deal with this audience. I'll be quiet and try to let you listen in. Here we go.
You said a few moments ago that everyone wants peace for Gaza, and yet by any metric, the Israelis are flouting the ceasefire that President Trump negotiated by killing an average of 2 children a day, not allowing the agreed upon humanitarian aid into Gaza. How long can this continue? How long can the Israelis be allowed to show such disrespect to President Trump?
Well, look, that's your characterization of it about the term disrespect. What I would say is this: this was, first of all, it was a miracle that it happened in the first place. We all understand how difficult it was for that to come to the conclusion that it did.
No, it wasn't a miracle. Once again, Hamas has been begging for ceasefires for a long time. You've seen their demands. I think you wanted to see if you could wipe out Palestinians or get them to run away before the U.S. population started caring, or even Israeli population started caring that, like, hey, you guys are like just destroying people, right? Before regular people start figuring it out. But it took too long. People found out. They started complaining about it. You announced a peace deal, but there's no real peace deal there because, once again, we just heard it, right? People are still dying in large amounts over there.
Either which way, I could never use the word miracle for what you stood by.
Yeah. Oh, they didn't just stand by, Dubster. They were handing out weapons and money and intelligence behind it. And U.S. companies, they'd fucking, hey, guys, go over there, go help Israel out. It's good business for you. You know, the Where's Daddy program, all that stuff. Yeah. The U.S. was extremely complicit. During Biden, during Trump. Very complicit in what was happening over there. And what is still happening over there. So, yeah. I love how the first thing he responds to, the guy brought up like 2 children per day are dying over there. And what does Marco Rubio bring up? A statement about disrespect. How can they just sit there and disrespect Donald Trump for? He's like, well, first of all, I disagree with the characterization of disrespect. Right? It's like, that's what you heard? Well, the guy was saying the Israelis are disrespecting Trump by not following what his stated plan was, right? By breaking the ceasefire. And of course, that's the first thing Rubio gets to, which is about the respect for the character of Donald Trump. Like, fuck out of here. The fuck? It's like human loss is a backseat for these guys. Anyways, good.
I was going to say, I think you might want to clean your screen a little bit. There's a giant piece of dog shit on it.
Not enough squeegees in the world, Joe. There's not enough of them. All right, here we go.
Who let this little maggot out of his playpen?
Well, he's definitely angling to be president with these quick-witted answers, huh? All right, here we go.
The bombing and everything else, with the scale and scope of what we saw ended. All the hostages were released, and we have relative peace right now for the most part, despite the things you're pointing to. That was very difficult, but this is not easy. Peace is a verb. It's not. It's an action. It's not a sentiment. Every single day will bring challenges. Every single day. We also have had instances, for example, over the last couple of weeks, where Hamas elements emerged from a tunnel, attached an explosive device to the side of a vehicle, and injured and almost killed Israeli soldiers. We still have this threat. We still have and see every single day Hamas openly taking steps to strengthen themselves within inside of those places in Gaza that they still control. We saw early on the.
You mean all 8 of them?
So Hamas almost killed an Israeli soldier, but this guy just told you 2 kids per day are dying over there for things that don't need to be happening. They shouldn't be dying from
peace.
What?
It's relative peace. That's what he said after that.
Well, yeah. Because he's making, once again, they do this quite a bit, politicians, where they make it seem like muddy or difficult or some sort of, oh my God, rocket science, when in reality it's pretty simple. It is very simple.
Sometimes things can be complicated and difficult. This is not one of those times.
It's pretty fucking simple.
It's like number one, the Israelis have violated the ceasefire over and over and over. So it's it's what the fuck did you think was going to happen? Did you think that the largest resistance group in the area was going to fucking take this shit sitting down? No. No.
Well, let's be honest. Well, Joe, like during the whole genocide aspect, those guys were definitely hiding in places that they should have let civilians stay in while they fight their little war on the fucking surface. Right? Those tunnels, they should have put fucking civilians in there, and they can go out in the fucking buildings and fight wars out there. Straight up, they should have. But
I'm not denying that.
you know,
Chuck, what do you say about two children a day dying? Where they got that fucking number from? Whatever. But
Probably
all-
pulled it out
all
of his
the-
ass.
all the ancient. No, it was a journalist that said it. So, I mean, but I'm saying that's probably modest.
yeah, probably.
But so
Probably a gross undercount.
any of the the ancient religions that would sacrifice children, yeah, it was relative peace because they needed to sacrifice those children so that the crops would grow for the rest of the people.
That'll save millions, man.
Right.
Makes sense. But it's like these things
Relative
are
peace.
these are like extremely preventable. Like when you're still bulldozing housing and people are living in fucking tents while it's wintertime and it's fucking cold rain and these kids are dying from hypothermia, diseases, shit that's in the fucking water. They don't have access to clean fucking water. They're not getting enough food and aid. They're not getting enough medical care. These things are extremely preventable.
You know that it's so bad over there that there's kids getting fucking polio?
I believe I've heard
Polio.
that. I believe I've heard that too. And hey,
It's fucking happening.
check this out. All Trump actually has to do is get on the phone and say, "Bibi, we'll cut off all this military aid, all this fucking money shit. Well, if Iran wants to fuck you up, we're not going to get in the way of it." Like, he just says something like that, and boom, they will change course immediately. Especially the Iran thing. Now they can develop weapons right now. Like they have developed weapons. Israel, they have weaponry, but we saw what happened with that Iron Dome thing. We saw what happened, and Iran is like after that little 12-day thing ended, they went right back to work making more of them. Let's just be honest about that. And if Iran wants to go and fuck up Israel, there's a good chance they could, or at the very least, take significant chunks out of Israel's fighting power. And they know that. And if the U.S. is like, "Hey, listen, Bibi, if you're not gonna follow my orders, like, what do I do? How am I supposed to help you?" And then that right there, they would change fucking course, or what? Even PR wise, if Trump deemed it a genocide, he said, "Yeah, it is a genocide." If he did that and started voting that way in the UN or the ICC and all this stuff, they'll fucking change course very quickly.
It would take them about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be the easiest, simplest turnaround ever.
I'll tell you what, if he decided to do a real 180 and fucking start backing Iran on this whole thing, it would take him about 10 seconds to reverse course.
Yeah, well, that'd be batshit crazy to do that. But I would say, like, they have this. He's saying it's messy, but like, no, it's not. It's pretty simple. Hamas, whatever. But you have civilians here. Make sure they're taken care of. And guess what? You have people that know the area, that work amongst international, not groups, but like, organizations and shit like that, right? These people they have techniques and systems to make sure they're like, okay, we're dealing with straight up civilians here. We're making sure they get aid. They exist. They refuse to use them, though. They block those guys from coming in. You have journalists that can expose things like, okay. What was it? What was the thing with the Brown University guy, right? Wasn't there some dude that was living in the fucking basement, a homeless guy, that pieced everything together? He like followed this dude out. He's like, oh, yo, he's driving like a silver Nissan or some shit like that. And he fucking blew the whistle on the guy that was just murdering or, killing people on college campuses. With no tech.
I'm not familiar with that story.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that headline. I didn't read the story.
Oh, yeah. And that guy has no FBI forensics team for him. He has no investigative team for him. He doesn't have all these different resources that these guys have.
He just got eyes and watched somebody, like, obviously do something in front of him.
He has eyes and a fucking brain. He saw someone moving around pretty weird. He looked at him. He followed him. Then the dude, the killer, realized he was being followed as he was about to go into his car and just skipped the car. He locked it back up and kept walking. It's like, oh shit, I'm onto you. Look at that.
But the homeless guy noticed that was the car he was gonna go to.
No, he was just following the guy. Then the guy went to his car and pulled out the beep beep, fucking unlocked the door shut, right, the key, and then the homeless guy saw him doing that, and then I think the shooter guy saw the homeless guy looking at him or something, and he just kept walking. Like, it was like weird. Like, you're about to go in your car, you just stopped and kept going randomly. And then he posted on Reddit. He's like, "Yo, look out for like a silver Nissan. I got the plates right here." Or he said he had. I don't think he got the plate number. I think it was like, oh, they're Florida plates. And this guy's the one who he's the one who cracked the fucking case open.
Where's Brown University?
Rhode Island. Then he drove. Okay. Then he drove all the way to
Florida plates in fucking Rhode Island. Yeah, that's a little weird too.
And then this guy, he was switching plates so that he could. Allegedly, the shooter was switching plates to move from place to place.
Shit.
So he killed those kids in Brown. Then he killed nuclear fission fucking guy at MIT. He killed that guy too.
Nuclear scientist. Like a long time ago.
What's that?
Recently or a long time ago he killed the MIT guy?
No, just say within hours of each other?
So like a spree.
Basically.
Okay.
Like that guy it was weird because that guy went to Brown University, the shooter, and he was from Portugal, I believe. And so was the nuclear scientist, which means they may have known each other.
Didn't they say, was it the Brown one that someone was targeted and other people also got shot?
The Brown one, I saw a lot of right-wing influencers turning it into their, first they were saying, it was a Palestinian. It was a Palestinian trying to kill, No,
I saw something where they said in the Brown University he was targeting one person, but I guess it turned into there was a lot of people that he also shot, but he was, I don't know how they came up with this, but they said he was targeting one person, but he ended up shooting a lot of people.
I heard the allegation, just the idea that he was looking for the physics room, but they weren't holding physics class that day. Like someone else was in the classroom instead. Some other group or maybe student group or something like that was in there instead of an actual class. So maybe he was looking for someone in the physics department, and it wasn't the right people. But I don't know. I can't say I know that one. But I heard that floating around.
They knew that before he was arrested. So it's like, how do y'all know that?
There's a lot of narratives being thrown out there. They fucking essentially dox some kid who's Palestinian or something and said, oh, look, he's targeting Republicans or something like that. And they posted his picture and his name and all that shit, and that kid had nothing to do with it. Pretty weird.
There's a fake accusation out there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time I've seen a bunch of right-wing dipshits ruin somebody's life.
Yeah. But yeah. By the way, that scientist guy at MIT, I heard something where he was working on something that would lead to closer to the idea of free energy, in a real way. Like he was revolutionizing something then this guy died. But that could be bullshit too. That could be just sensationalizing for the sake of making it more dramatic that guy was killed.
They said he was studying nuclear fusion, right? Because fusion and fission are two opposing processes.
I'm a lame brain when it comes to that shit, bro. I don't know. It's something. He's some sort of higher up, one of the leading experts or yada 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 in the country on shit like that. But you should go look it up because I will fuck it up if I try to explain because I don't know, honestly.
You know the guy's name?
Yeah, it's like a foreign sounding name. I don't even fucking remember it, bro. Not gonna lie. You could find it. Just murdered MIT professor. Like you'll find it. But all right, let's continue on with Marco Rubio being a dumb fuck. Here we go.
Atrocities they were committing in the streets against people as they were trying to show people how strong they were. So I don't think I'm standing here to tell you this is going to be easy. This is an hour by hour, day by day challenge. It's one of the reasons why we have stood up this center there in operating in Israel in partnership as well with another cell that exists in a regional country. It's why every single day there are meetings among both intelligence, diplomatic, and military officials of multiple countries that help bring about this deal to manage this. And that's why it is so critical. It is so critical and so key that we move to complete this first phase, that we move to put in place the board of peace, get everybody agree to be a part of it, move to put in place this Palestinian technocratic organization so that they can begin to provide some governance structure and move to put in place the stabilization force. That's the goal here, but it's not going to be easy. Every day will bring new challenges to that, and we recognize those challenges are coming from all sides.
That's just a liar. He's a bad liar. He's bad at this.
Well, it's just like you could sit there and stare at the 50 tents that are sitting in soaking fucking rain in the middle of winter and be like, well, we need to do a meeting to fix this. Let's do a meeting that's going to take months to come up with. A board of peace. Let's come up with a board of peace to deal with these soaking wet tents with babies in them in the middle of fucking winter.
Yeah, and maybe the Israeli government and the CIA can run a humanitarian front in Gaza.
I mean, you could just look and be like, okay, we could fix this right now. Why are we letting this happen? That's fixable, like immediately fixable.
That would be the smart and the moral thing to do. That's why they're not going to do it.
Holy Christ, man. All right, let's continue with one more little story involving the U.S. and Israeli relations. Netanyahu wants to attack Iran again. Will lobby Trump in Mar-a-Lago visit. So Netanyahu's going to visit Mar-a-Lago pretty soon, I believe. And there's reports saying that he's going to go there to convince Trump, hey, we should attack Iran again. Because look what they have. Look at all their weapons.
Jordan, you must understand, Iran is 5 minutes away from developing a nuclear weapon. 5 minutes.
But, yeah. I wonder, like, I see a lot of things, like, especially with the Trump administration. They're very, like, how do I explain this? A lot of smoke and mirrors. They will do a lot of, like, putting out little, like, anonymous U.S., personnel report, like anonymous people saying, oh, this is going to happen over here. This is going to happen over there seemingly to throw people off. What was the thing we saw recently, right? Tucker got the memo like, hey, they're going to announce the war with Venezuela. And it didn't happen, right? Several things. Trump's visit to the Middle East, where he started putting out quiet U.S., White House, officials, anonymous, say, hey, Trump's thinking about making announcing a state for Palestine, or he's announcing a ceasefire deal, or whatever the fuck, in order to get the Middle East to calm the fuck down while he's visiting them. Then when he comes back to America, they go right back to genociding. I mean, right back to it. And it's just like, holy fuck, I stand back in amazement.
Well, it's part of the strategy. Make enough noise and nobody's going to know which one of these 10, 20, 30 things is actually the thing that's happening.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And Steve Bannon kind of said the quiet part out loud a while ago. Just flood the zone with shit. And that's an apt choice of words because this is definitely a lot of shit. You know that, right?
I mean, it's hard for me to look at those guys and think that they're just so like brainwashed loyal to the president. It's hard to see that. It's more so like you guys are a part of the distraction while the White House does what the fuck they do, which is make the world a worse place.
I got something for that. Did you watch that video I sent you yesterday with Owen Benjamin or Owen Schroyer?
No, I think I had it queued up.
So,
Okay.
okay, are you gonna watch it in this?
Not in this video, no.
Okay, are you gonna watch it in a video?
Possibly, yeah. I could probably do that.
Then I'll hold it back.
Okay, and pause. Pause for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let's move on to the main video here from Matt Dillahunty and a MAGA caller, I guess is what they're being called here, saying they're incapable of giving a direct answer, featuring Justin Deasy. Okay. Let's find out what it is. Without further ado, here we go with Matt Dillahunty.
I kind of know who Matt Dillahunty is, but I have no idea who this other person is.
Okay. I've seen some things from Matt Dillahunty before, more so in the skeptical community, if you will.
Yeah. That was a good 10 years ago now that I think about it.
Yeah. But let's see what he has in regards to politics. Let's find out. Let's see if it's mainstream slop or if it's actually like researched. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching. Most of the content on my channel is supported by generous patrons, but made available for free to the entire world. If you support that, please consider adding your support at patreon.com/ATube on The Line. The Line Network Live. Thank you. Teddy's calling from Pennsylvania. Teddy's pronouns are he, him, and Teddy says he's glad that Trump made it as president. Hey, Teddy, should we also be glad that Trump's president?
Atheist
That's a
caller.
tough question. I'll give you the simple answer. It's the lesser of two evils. However, the main reason I'm calling is simple. Justin, you know me. I go by It's Just Me on your channel. I'm a stage 4 cancer survivor, and Justin knows me quite well. And Justin has helped me become an atheist. He's helped me deconstruct. And all I did was posted something about, I'm glad that Harris didn't win. So I guess
Why?
I know I'm going to see all kinds of mean things.
I'd love to know, Teddy, between a Harris administration and a Trump administration, why do you think that Trump is the lesser of two evils? Do you have more legal protection under Trump than you had under Harris?
Explain legal protection.
Due process. So there are people right now who are being gathered up, deported without any demonstration that they are who the people claim they are. And in many cases, we've shown that they're not. There are people outside the United States, for example, fishermen who happen to perhaps some cases also deal drugs that are being killed in boats in Venezuela.
Correct.
The Supreme Court and others are basically giving carte blanche to the president. So it seems to me that we clearly do not have the same due process under Trump that we had under Biden and that would have probably continued under Harris. So what's better?
That's not exactly true.
You're going.
Oh, please go ahead.
Well, I mean, all these methods were things that were already that the powers the president already had.
Mhm.
So it's kind of just ripping off the illusion of due process, I guess. Even though it should be a thing, but I think it's been taken away since the early 2000s, I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
as far as the national law goes.
Oh yeah. I think Trump is showing like at least a glimpse of what a president could do. Well, I'm saying quote unquote him, right? Even though it's like a multitude of people, but he's kind of showing like, hey, these guys can actually do a lot more shit than they're on the surface were doing before. But either way, it's like Obama was rounding people up with ICE, 100%.
Yeah,
Trump-
he got called. There was a time when everybody was calling that motherfucker the deporter in chief,
Yeah,
and rightfully so.
It was just a little bit quieter. Biden to Obama to most likely Harris would be subjugating Venezuela, 100%. Now, would they just be blowing up boats in the middle of the ocean? I'd say maybe, but they wouldn't announce it. They wouldn't put it on Twitter and say, look what the fuck we did. But if they weren't doing that, they'd still be subjugating. They'd still be saying, oh, Maria, Corina Machado, like, she's the real president. We need to support her. Or whatever puppet they might pick out. So, like, I don't understand what they mean, but, like, I guess it'd be less overt. So they won't have to, like, feel bad about it, maybe? Maybe that's the thing? Okay.
Seems like semantics.
Well, it seems like this idea of better, just a weird statement in regards to what the fuck they're talking about.
I didn't hear you.
It is weird in terms of like human life.
Yeah.
It could also be Kamala could have said, I don't want to do this to Venezuela. I want to do this to put in a different country's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could pay opposition groups and let's say like Venezuela to take out to cause chaos within that country, which will lead to people dying. But it won't be like the same aesthetic. Real quick, it won't be like the same aesthetic as here's bomb hit boat. It says unclassified on the top of the fucking screen. They put it on Twitter. They retweet, 10 million times. Hey guys, look what the fuck we did. We blew them up. See, it's different, but like I kind of see like when it comes to human cost, kind of the same thing to me.
But Republicans would say it in a way to be patriotic. Democrats would say it in a way to be like, we'll send in the United Nations peacekeepers. They're peacekeeping.
All right, USAID or Voice of America, shit like that, which they were already doing.
Colonizer, bad colonizer.
Yeah.
They say the same thing differently. Basically, what it is.
And that's a good point because why was Doge doing that shit or Trump when he came in taking those guys out? He was addressing a problem that the Democrats are like more generally responsible for. And then what does he do? Well, we're gonna just be more hands-on and proactive. And overt about how we're gonna handle. We're gonna pick up the slack for those agencies. So essentially, he didn't stop those agencies because they're bad. He stopped those agencies because he felt he could do it better by executive order.
Yeah.
Which is just rearranging the deck. Nothing's really changed. It just rearranged terminologies. Payload pause for payloads of how to fuck people over.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Like example of like with my bad, with USAID, how they just like absorbed it into the State Department.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that too. Yeah.
And now it's more.
So-
you could probably put more under classified
Right.
at that
Yeah.
point, right? You can hide it better. Actually, funny enough.
Yeah.
But,
Well, also remember there was something else before Doge that was supposed to do the same thing. It was created under Obama.
What?
It just had a different name. It's the same idea, but it never did anything. Just like Doge never really did anything.
you're not talking about the it's
100.
called Consumer
No,
Financial
that
Bureau or
that
fuck.
did do things. The
No, the Consumer Financial Protection
did
Bureau was they're basically supposed to be anti-fraud police.
Yeah, that's not that. This was an in-house clean up the government thing. He created
Government
way
Accountability
early.
Office, I think you mean.
Okay. I don't know. I just don't remember what it's called, but I do remember hearing we're replacing Doge with something that already exists and is supposed to do this anyway. And it did never do it either. And then what we get out of Doge was, oh, we found $10 billion or whatever the mark was. And then they said, all right, we found it.
I mean, Pentagon still can't account for like 2/3 of their fucking money, but I guess gutting Social Security and taking healthcare away from people is perfectly fine.
They didn't even do that though. They didn't do more than $50 million worth of cuts. It was something like 0.5% of what they even found.
You sound upset about that.
and didn't touch the fucking Pentagon at all. Who failed another audit recently.
Raised it.
Yeah, this is what their 8th in a row.
Something like that. Oh man, I mean, like, here's some dumb guy logic here. Now, once again, none of us have the resources of the U.S. fucking government, do we? Or just let's say the Democratic Party by itself. We don't have the
Not
resources.
even in my dreams.
But yet, I think
Not
we're
even in my fucking dreams, Jordan.
Well, I'm pretty sure we were aware about the subjugation of Venezuela, the wannabe replacement president, Trump's let's be real, it's a part of the Trump administration's failed attempt to overthrow Venezuela with some of these private groups and private mercenary groups and shit like that. We're aware of that. Are you telling me they're not aware of that? Or they couldn't be aware of that? If they're aware of it, well, you just had a Biden administration. Why don't you do something about it? Huh? Where's the drawing up charges? Where's the expose to show the nation, like, hey, this is what this guy was doing? And the problems, you can mount the problems from there. I mean, the subjugation of free speech in America, right? The thing they did with, like, if you criticize Israel, you can get deported, right? And just his deportation policy in general. Those were things that were being done and brought up in his first administration. Why didn't they notice that and do something about it?
You want to know what the answer is?
I was like, I brought it up before about Syria, right? Where Trump's like, all right, we're gonna take troops out of Syria. They don't. They add troops, I believe, up to the tune of like 2,000. An entire Biden administration goes by. 2,000 are still there in Syria. Trump comes back into office. Maybe we're gonna lower it one day. Maybe we're gonna lower it. I think. Maybe we'll do that. 2 of them get killed. They start bombing Syria. Or sorry, three people got killed. 2 soldiers, 1 contractor, I think. Hey, it looks like we got to stay here a little bit longer. And it's like, holy fuck, guys! If you don't see the fucking the baton being passed from one person to the next, I don't, or one administration to the next, I don't know what to fucking tell you. But
right, that's where that was what I was thinking of when Obama introduced the 700 operatives into Syria. Instead of the Republican waves getting like all patriotic, they would just call it overseers of peace or some shit like that.
Brand name changes, yeah.
Yeah.
Secretary of Defense, Secretary of War, whatever. Doing the same jobs. Just one's gonna brag on Twitter, the other one you won't hear his fucking name. That's what happens.
And a lot of these never Trumper Republicans. That's the thing that they don't like about him. That he says mean things on the internet.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well,
now the never Trumpers are all on board with Trump, and the actual Trumpers left Trump behind.
Yeah, maybe a few of them found out that just like every other fucking politician in our 2-party shit show, Trump was shaking his dick in front of their faces and laughing about it.
Well, I think Joe means regular people, not the, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder's, Mark Levin.
Oh no, fuck no, not them.
Because they were initially never Trumpers, right? They were initially that, and then oh fuck, you're a neocon too? All right, we're on your team. We like this guy.
Ben Shapiro must have said something the last 2 days to get like all the Republican opponents are like calling him fake MAGA now. Something he must have said something the last 2 days. Steve Bannon's calling him out. Alex Jones calling him out. Candace is back on making videos about him right now. He must have said something.
Yes, we did a video. He was at the Turning Point USA America Fest, where they actually funny. I saw an image. They had an actual stand that was like looks exactly like like the little pavilion thing for Charlie Kirk, the tent he died under. They had like one like that, like remade for people to take selfies at. I'm like, oh my god, guys, what the
What the fuck?
It was like
That's crazy.
a reenactment looking thing. Like, yo, what the freak is that? You guys are crazy. But yeah, Benny Boy was there saying the typical neocon, hyper pro Israel. And then the USS Liberty, that was another one that people got pissed off about. Yeah. I mean, like, but Ben hasn't changed. That's the thing. Like, you guys changed, essentially, because you guys are keeping your fucking mouth shut about Israel this entire time until, like, what, 2 or 3 years ago? But Ben's been like that the
Not
whole
even
time when you guys were dick
6
clotting him.
months. Maybe a year at this point.
I mean,
Like Candace Owens and Alex Jones
yeah.
and Tucker. And Alex still does fight for his half-ass way.
Yeah, we have seen. But it's like Ben hasn't changed. You guys changed. That's been Ben the whole time. I didn't notice a fucking difference at all. But once again, like it is what it is.
All it took for the Shapiros and the Crowders of the world to fucking throw their lot in with Trump was just the knowledge that their steady supply of little treats from the Republican Party wouldn't get interrupted.
Wow.
So, because that's all it takes to get one of those little bastards on your side. Give them enough treats.
All right, let's.
Yeah, true. It's kind of like sorry, real quick. It's kind of like one of those movies where there's like a bad guy on one team the whole time, and then they do like one thing, quote unquote, good, and then all of a sudden everyone's praising them. Like, I feel like the only reason why like the Candace Owens or like the Tucker Carlsons will even say anything about Israel is because they're trying to like scapegoat the blame. Like, not me saying that Israel does no wrong. Obviously, they do a lot of wrong, but it feels like they're just trying to like scapegoat like a lot of like the scrutiny off of like America.
Ooh, that's a distinct possibility.
They exist to funnel all of that frustration back into the
I always
establishment.
thought that, but I always thought it was had something to do with like
that's what they do.
Actual Judaism. They're actually like against Judaism for some religious reason. I thought that's what he said. I 100%.
Oh, that's absolutely a component too. That they take advantage of that.
Like they're actually against like Judaism.
Man, I don't even think I believe that, bro. That may be the character on the surface, but I think they see what Nick Fuente, like, look at this fucking little kid on the corner of the internet gaining these like hyper loyal fan base.
Yeah.
And
well,
like,
not only that, they see little dipshit Nick. I knew Candace's like, I can do it better than this guy, and she does.
She does. Well, yeah, because she doesn't have all the fucking baggage of Nick Fuentes and all the stupid shit he's ever done.
Yes.
Well, like I said, they will play to whoever gives them the most treats.
Oh, what a fucking world we live in. All right, let's run it. Here's more from this MAGA caller. Well, he's calling him a MAGA caller, but he said lesser of two evils. Right? He's like, oh, well, he's the lesser evil.
Right.
That doesn't sound like a hardcore I love MAGA person. But maybe they have a good reason to call him that. We'll find out. Here we go.
Oh, one more point, Jordan.
Yeah, good.
Part of the beauty of this whole civil war in MAGA, deciding who is or isn't real MAGA, the movement itself is fake. So you can call anybody a fake, and people will be on your side. It's easy.
Well, I would hope regular people would make a distinction between, like, okay, this guy means what he's saying versus this person who's full of shit trying to sell me T-shirts. Right? I would hope people would like try to assess that, and that's with anything in regards, especially content creators and politicians, especially like try to make a distinction at least attempt. Like, hey, is this guy lying to me, or is he being honest? Even if it's correct, quote unquote, correct information, right? Like Candace can point out how all the atrocities happening in Gaza all day and night if she wants to. But I'm still not going to be like, oh my god, my fucking hero, Candace fucking Owens. I'm just not doing it. Until I feel, unless I felt like she was actually I just don't feel that yet. I don't.
Well, one of the things I kind of use as a litmus test is what else have they changed their minds about? Like, do they think it's a bad thing that Trump is enabling a genocide, perhaps?
Won't touch Trump on the topic.
Maybe it's the way
it's never Trump's. It's never Trump's fault.
Yeah, the buck always stops short of him.
He's got people in his ear. That's usually what they say.
Yeah.
Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, for example.
Yeah, she did that too.
She had no problem fucking insider trading. She got very wealthy off of her position in office.
Didn't she stop? Sorry, didn't she stop like right before her pension or whatever? Like, right, or like as soon as like she was able to get it, that's when she left office, or is gonna leave office, presumably.
She's gonna be leaving on January 5th, which is just after she would qualify for the pension. And that's on top of the fact that she is, I think, a good $20 million richer. Because one of the things she was doing was she has her family owns a construction business, and if what I've heard is true,
contracts they got.
Yeah, a lot of contracts got funneled to them.
One of the requirements
in the state of Georgia.
One of the requirements to open a bank in the United States is you have to have $20 million to the side, and you have to own a construction company. So, is she a banker too? Let's ask Google that.
Listen. I know people love to follow the money in regards to every topic. I don't do that as much when it comes to assessing people. I don't know this lady at all. She has said things that are interesting. I've heard her not say things, which I think is my main reason for not trusting her in a political position at all. I'm like, you know what? You should fucking quit. Thank you for quitting. Hopefully it's for the sake of honor and not for the sake of convenience or whatever.
That's even more important. What have they not changed their minds about? What have they been willing to overlook the entire time?
Yeah, but I have to leave room for someone being an absolute dumbass, Joe. I have to leave room for that because I see a lot walking around. It is the case. I'm sorry. Where they're conditioned, they're as good as the world around them, and they live within those bounds without thinking outside the box. I see it all the fucking time. I have to leave room for that. Now, she could be full of shit. Either way, whether she's incompetent or full of shit or a mixture of both, she should quit. Go do something else. Go enjoy your money or whatever. Go do something else. Because she's not good enough.
That's the other part of the dilemma. Are they idiots or are they liars? Ow.
The fuck? Either way, yes. I agree. Like, these are worthy assessments. And guess what? The result is still the same. Like, leave. Quit. Go do something else. Please. But still important to assess. Either way, okay, let's actually continue on with this video from a so-called MAGA caller.
Hold on, just one more thing.
No! Not good.
My bad. Okay, so I too think it's better to follow the actions rather than the money, because let's say if like you take money from like a quote-unquote like corrupt source, you can use that money to like do good for like your constituents or like your community. But like, let's say if you're like an AOC who like apparently doesn't take any money from like large donors, but it's like, what does she do with not like being beholden to large donors? She votes for the Iron Dome anyways. She votes to sanction Venezuela. She votes to put embargoes on Cuba. She ignores the Gaza stuff. She votes for to continue the Ukraine war. So it's like better to follow the actions rather than just the money.
Fair enough. And she's definitely for the most part, a party voter. For the most, and party campaigner. Let's just be honest about that. But fair enough. Fair
Why
enough.
Jordan voted for her.
What?
That's why Jordan voted for her.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, let's continue with the so-called MAGA caller. I'm sure it's Dubster calling in, by the way. All right, here we go.
Yeah, you continue that, and I'll try to find Dubster's coloring book.
Here we go.
I hate my answer, but I'm going to be honest with
I already
you.
hate the fact that instead of giving the answer, you decided to start with "I'd hate your answer," but I'm going to forgive that.
Okay. Borders, language, culture. That's what makes a country.
Okay.
Our country
Borders.
before-
Hang on. Borders, language, and culture. And so you think that making English the national language was a good thing?
I never said that.
No, I'm just asking. I didn't say you said it. You said borders, language, and culture. And the only thing that I can think that Trump did on language was either making English the national language or scrubbing everything that they want to call DEI or woke from every government website and scrubbing facts and information about science from government websites. So is it one of those two that we've improved on language or something else?
I'm not
I
worried
call
about
bullshit
that.
on your science.
I'm sorry,
Look,
but the question I asked Teddy, I didn't ask if you were worried about that. I'm asking, where is the improvement on language?
Teddy.
That name is Teddy, man.
I speak two languages.
I'm
That
sorry,
has
Teddy.
nothing to do
I
with-
didn't ask anything at all about how many languages you speak at all. I asked, where is the improvement from the Trump administration on language? You're saying that there were three pillars that you were going, that you viewed as important to a society. One of them was language. I just decided randomly to start there. So I'm asking you, what is the Trump administration improvement on language?
Before
You're getting out all the Mexicans.
Before he answers
who
that,
speak Spanish.
God damn it! I have to leave and come back. Hold on. Fucking hell, bro. Fine. All right, let's hear his answer. Even though it sounds like he doesn't really have much answers on things, but here we go.
I don't know.
Okay, fine. So we'll set that one aside.
Anthony, did you send me this to torture this poor man?
Improvement on
I don't.
Okay, fine. So we'll set that one aside. What is the Trump administration improvement on borders?
Built the wall.
Better than it was when Harris and Biden were in there because the borders were wide open. We had thousands on thousands of illegals coming into this country, and it was destroying our country. It was all
How
about
is it destroying our
politics.
country? Since we've deported a whole
Because
bunch of
they just
people,
wanted to get illegal-
I'm sorry, I was still talking. Since we've deported a whole bunch of people,
You muted him, I think.
including people who were here not lawfully and some people here who were here lawfully as well, we have reduced the workforce, reduced the purchasing force, and the economy is crashing. And the people who've been deported this happened to them without due process of law. How is that
Americans
a
aren't
better
working.
world if you could be deported tomorrow and have no ability to fight it if they wanted to?
They could always have done that.
The reason I was told to call in was because the moderators.
I'm sorry, Teddy. I'm sorry, Teddy. I'm sorry, Teddy. I didn't ask you why you were told to call in. I'm asking you questions about what you said. You called in to say that you're happy Trump's president. You gave your reasons. I'm now asking you about those reasons.
I think he said lesser
You've already
evil.
failed one of your first three. I'm asking you about the border one now. How is it better to just get rid of some people that some people don't like if there's no due process?
Your words are incorrect, sir.
No, my words are no, sir. My words are completely correct, and so we're just going to count that as another failure. So the third prong of your healthy society that you wanted was a nebulous idea.
I win
After language and borders of, well, let's see, what did you call it? Culture?
Yes.
Do you mean white culture?
Is this a ringer, Anthony?
No.
Anthony, is this a ringer? Don't lie to me.
Because the moderator, I called in because the moderators told me to. You don't think he's a ringer?
This fool is here to get beat up by Stone Cold, bro. He's he's a dude in the
He's
front row.
mankind's a professional.
All right, Stone Cold. When I give the cue, the guy in the red hat's gonna jump out into the ring. You give him a Stone Cold Stunner, give him middle fingers, and walk away. All right, go. These fools' cousins called in. Like, yeah, listen, Bobby. Yeah, just have to just call in. You know, just be an idiot. Okay,
Freestyle.
do that.
Just freestyle it.
Just have no answers for anything. Okay. All right. So he asked about culture. He said, "Well, what do you mean, white culture?" Let's hear where he goes.
What culture are you
I'm not
talking
gonna-
about? Because
When
I'm
people say they're
because
not
I'm
a-
because I don't know. You see, I want to know what culture you're talking about because I'm an 8-year veteran of the military, and I buy into the notion that America
believe
is a
you.
melting pot, and so a melting pot and a variety of cultures, and there's
Melting
a blending
plot.
going on, everything else. So what culture
And then go with
is it
the
that we're
assimilation
protecting with
act.
Trump that wasn't protected under?
They're not assimilating,
Biden,
and
or
they
wouldn't
should.
have been protected under Harris.
As Dubster gets his
And they
burrito
are now.
tacos with consomme.
They are now, Dubster.
Dubster, is this for you on the phone?
No matter what I say, Matt, I'm going to.
No, I would answer these questions.
Yes, you are, Teddy, because you are a fool. But the funny thing is that all I did was ask you to give an example of the very thing that you said was going to be better. You've now failed 2 out of the 3. Here's your third chance to say, here is the aspect of culture that is being protected under Trump that wouldn't have been protected under Biden Harris.
Now, here's where you got to be. Once again, I like the idea of leading with empathy, meaning this guy talks all the time. I'm sure both these guys, they run their own content. They talk and talk and talk. They're used to it, right? I'm sure plenty of us are kind of used to it now, just being on Discord and talking and shit like that. Not everyone's like that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Not everyone can just like be in like debate mode and like fucking, rattle off information. They might get a little scatterbrained, right? Because they're just in the moment. That can happen. So you got to be empathetic on that end. But either way, I heard Dubster say something, and I'm actually curious. How would you answer if that was your answer? You're saying you would have a good reply for the Matt Dillahunty guy, right? You're saying if you
For all his for his 3
Ah.
pillars, I have answers for those.
Okay, so
I will,
borders, language, culture. You have an answer for all 3 of those.
yes.
You want
And
to
I
answer
would
them?
say,
Yeah, good.
so let's start where they start. Language. The only thing I can think of is you must speak English for truck driving. That was a thing. Okay, that covers language. It's not fucking in depth. It's not countrywide. So I couldn't say it's like an overall thing for language. I
Okay.
wouldn't
Language is a
choose
weird
that
one.
for. Yeah, I wouldn't choose that one for my argument in the first place. But sure, he brought it up, so there's a sort of answer to that. Borders, he built the wall. He's deporting illegals. I consider that a good thing in the sense that we don't want an invasion equivocal, and we want Americans to get back to work, not a whole bunch of illegal aliens taking all the jobs.
AI will replace all of us, I think, at some point. It'll take over both. No one's gonna have a fucking job.
And then culture, I would say it's not about a color race. It's about the culture of what America is. If we do have people that are legal immigrants coming to America, we want them to assimilate. What we've had so far is
So
what
when
you
you
have
eat,
so far. Hold on. What we have so far is this over flood of illegals that are not assimilating. So I think that's what he was kind of.
Whatever.
Hey, Dubs, are the Asians?
They're not assimilating.
Yes, they
are the
fucking
Indians?
How are they going to assimilate if you're trying to kick them out?
They're not. They're not welcome. They're not
You don't give them
welcome
any
because
time.
they're
Not only
illegal
that,
aliens.
Give them the boot. Don't give them
we
any
have
chance.
plenty of legal immigrants who aren't assimilating. Legally, they're here legally. They're abusing the HB1, whatever it is, visa. They're here, Dubster, and they don't assimilate. They don't even consider themselves part of the country. More,
Therefore-
in my opinion, more so
Therefore,
than the
therefore, their legal status should be reversed.
based on what? Based on what? Based on
Because the H-1B,
legal.
What is
Oh,
what is
shit.
the
Okay,
threshold
okay,
of
but I'm being
assimilation
a
that
little.
would
Sweet glorious
I am being a little
That-
patient.
I'll just kick in.
would be
H1B
revocable or not?
Bro.
the H-1B and the HB2 visas should be reversed because it is just corporations saying, "Hey, we can get a discount on labor from outside of the country, so we can take them." Fuck the actual effects of what that will do to the country.
Dubster,
Now, I have
about
I
a
have a
day or
question
two
for
ago,
the
you were
entire
telling me
chat.
that if the
So
government knows
Dubster is a
why they're doing
I
this,
socialist.
have a
Got it.
question.
Glad you finally realized
for
what
trust your
part of the
government.
problem is.
Not a socialist.
Can I get a universal answer here from everyone in the chat of what American culture is? That's question number one. Question number two: is assimilation a God given right for citizens have to complete that? They have to assimilate. That is a that is a mandatory
That's a
thing. You
yes. That is part of the
you have
test.
part. Okay.
That's part of the test.
Question number three. Are you saying natural born citizens can dictate uh, uh, people who seek citizenship? They have to play under certain rules that natural born citizens can dictate whether they are good standing citizens or should be revoked of their citizenship. That's what you're saying.
Well,
That's kind of what you're
hold
saying.
on. That's what a gate at a castle is. Follow our fucking rules or get the fuck on.
Okay, you're trolling. Thank you.
Like
You're right.
something with
That is
culture.
not
How do you
trolling.
do
That's a
that?
solid fucking answer.
What's
That's
the
a
rules
solid
with that,
fucking
though?
answer.
Oh,
If you're not
he asked
cool
a good
with us,
question.
then why the hell? If you're not cool with us, then the guards at the gate won't let you pass.
I want to know what American
But in
culture
this
is. I
scenario,
like that
they
question.
did let
What
them
the fuck
pass.
is that?
Upser in this scenario, they did let
I want to know too.
certain people pass, and then once
Yeah,
they pass, you don't like how
the
they
Especially if
act.
you
guards are
remove the
corrupt.
other culture's
The guards are
influences, you'd be left
corrupt.
with.
They're not. The guards are corrupt. They're getting paid off. They're not
But
actually
that
fucking.
everything, dude, every like moral, every principle you're telling us is subjective. You understand? Like it's not a rule it's not a rule in life. It's a subjective
Yes,
principle you're bestowing upon everyone else.
we're talking about the establishment, like the fundamentals of a country and keeping a country.
You
If
don't even believe in the
if you
things you say. Like you kind of do, but you didn't think about it. It's like,
Because it doesn't make
what are you
sense.
talking
Like
about? I'm explaining it right now.
you're talking from a
okay,
place of authority with no authority. You have no authority on the topic you're trying to
I'm
present to us.
calling out the authority for being corrupt and breaking the rules.
Who is the authority? That's what I'm saying. It's a made up thing. No one's the authority on it. There's no authority. It's just every
The
people being.
government's the authority on HB1 visas and HB2 visas.
But do
They
you see
should have
how
never been
stupid that
allowed.
argument is? Do you see how
They
stupid
should
that
have
argument?
never been allowed.
what do you mean they should have never been allowed? That's you told me 2 days ago that the government has reasons that whether we know it or not, and that we should just trust the government. You a Republican was
That
saying
is
that
not
two
what I
days ago.
fucking said.
You it was in regards to the Monroe Doctrine.
Right. What I said was for 200 years, they have weighed and considered things. There's a reason why they've considered
There's,
this for 200 years.
oh, you said
They
it better than I
considered
did.
it. Hold on. They considered it when Spain was the empire that was in control of South America. So
And when you were asked whether you agree with it or not, you deferred to the government.
what I said, what look,
You never answered it.
you keep asking if I agree with things versus honestly fucking looking at it and like trying to figure it out. You're not even to the point where you're trying to figure out why are they fucking doing this? Why is it necessary or not necessary? What's the point of should America protect itself by putting like a gray zone of where other countries can influence nearby?
No, you were saying that
That's not
the
the
South American
scenario.
countries are property. You were saying in that
In
discussion.
that sense, they are. They're our gray zone of protection.
No, property, not protection. Property. You were saying they were property.
Yeah, if I fucking put up a barrier and then I have a soft fence in front of my, like, if I have stone walls and then I have wooden walls further out than that, yeah, sure, that's my area.
If you need to assimilate to America, so bringing it back to this, you need to
You want to
assimilate.
be in America? Yeah,
Mhm.
you gotta assimilate.
You got to
Or we don't
assimilate.
have a country anymore.
We don't have
And
a
it's
country.
just,
So what do they have to
it,
assimilate
yeah,
to? How do you define, like, what is
the
American culture
belief in the
versus
country of the United
versus?
States, like the actual priorities of the fundamentals, the Constitution. You want the American dream. You want the mentality. You have patriotism for America. All those kind of things.
Okay. What does that have to do with? Okay. With
That's what
that's culture. That's
assimilation
American
is.
culture.
Yes.
No
So
one knows what that is yet, by the way. No one fucking knows what
I
yeah,
that
just
no.
is.
told you.
Oh, come
I
on.
just told you.
Oh, come on.
Go look it up. Go look up what assimilation means in dictionary.
No,
You
I
want
said,
the answer.
I said American culture. I didn't say assimilation. I said American culture. What the fuck is that?
Go look up. Go look up many people's opinions of American culture. You will get
Oh, I'm
a
asking you.
surrounding idea.
Oh,
I just fucking explained it, dude.
I think we should deport you to Venezuela. That's my
yeah,
culture.
they could do that.
He'd have a fucking blast, dude. If you do part of them, he'd have a blast.
This country is made of
No.
like so many like
I would
it's
never
all
go
these
to
other countries.
Venezuela, but I would go to Colombia or Brazil. Them bitches is
They're
fucking
all the
fine.
same, Dubster. They're all the
Yeah, but you
same.
have to assimilate to their culture.
No, I wouldn't. I'd
Yeah, you'd
visit.
have to. You'd have
I
to
wouldn't
visit.
stay. I wouldn't
Yeah, they
stay.
wouldn't let
Fuck
you
that.
in because you're not assimilated.
Oh, I'm not staying.
If you went in,
Like this is the
they'd be
type
like,
of
yo, you're
arguments you guys
invading.
hear.
Yo, you're invading. That's what would happen.
Nah,
Dubster.
I got a passport. It'd be a visit.
What does that matter?
Dubster. What do they speak
It's a
in Brazil?
visit.
Oh, because they let you in. Well, Biden was letting people in. The
Portuguese.
president
I think
himself was
Brazil's
letting people
Portuguese,
in.
right?
Yes, Portuguese. Surprised you didn't troll me.
Well, it's I only know that because of a House episode. So
And UFC. But, all right. Oh, fuck. Okay. Because, like, I think Jesse was saying this. If you got rid of all the other cultures, what would be left? Is what you would,
Like,
I
what
guess,
foods would you eat?
what I think
Like,
Dubster would
God,
call
food.
would call American culture. It's like, what's left? Khaki pants or something.
you don't like American pie, get the fuck, or apple pie, get the fuck out.
A Mexican made your apple pie. That's not
Apple
ignorant.
pie?
That's ignorance of what you're saying, dude.
Jordan, you know what's left if you get rid of all the other cultures?
Native Americans. the real Americans. They're the only ones
That's
left.
cool. I'm covered there too.
So it's only
Yeah,
it's selfish.
I'm white and fucking Cherokee. No matter what, I can say, get the fuck out of my country.
Okay, but that would be saying to everybody else to get the fuck out. Right.
Yo, get my beef, bro.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Show us good. What do you mean?
Whatever.
Yeah,
Other than Jeep Cherokee, what else are you, Dubster? What's your white side?
Shit.
What European countries is that?
Like
On a stick.
it's English, it's Scottish,
England?
or it's Irish.
Scotland?
I forget which. And
England.
it's either France or Germany.
Okay, England. Let's say any of those countries, right? If they come here without a visa, they sneak into the country. Should they stay in there?
Get the fuck out.
Okay, so like.
Get the fuck out.
So Christopher Columbus should be deported.
So even your genealogy should be gonzo. So what's left?
Yeah, nearly all of like our ancestors, how they got here. How did they get here? They didn't always have the same, like exclusions. So people arrived, and they were
Hey,
stamped.
Dubster,
And they were let in.
Did these French and English and Irish, did they come over here and assimilate, or did they take over? Did they invade? What happened, Dubster?
That is assimilating. That is assimilating. They said.
You can't
They
answer
said,
it.
"You
Just
see this?
move on.
They said to the Indians, "You see this area? It's ours, and this is the culture." And then they expanded it until it was the whole country.
Yeah, got it. Let's move
That
on.
describes an invasion.
Hey, we all heard it.
Like, wow.
All right.
And the Cherokee got in line, man.
Yep, ran the assembly line
Yep, Cherokee agreed.
at your local Jeep dealership. All right, let's continue.
You know what you're left with if you kick out all the immigrants? Everybody's going to be wearing
happiness.
If happiness looks like a fucking white shirt, fucking slacks, penny loafers, and a fedora hat, sure.
We'll be back to
The most boring set of clothing I could
wigs.
possibly think of.
I'll stick with my tennis shoes.
Oh, that's so funny.
I don't need no penny loafers.
American culture, England, Ireland, France, Germany.
Fedora does not work for
American
me.
pride.
I'm not a fedora. I don't wear hats.
Yeah. This country was founded by a bunch of English, French, Spanish, Dutch, and Germans who owned slaves and wanted to be free.
So it's basically fair game, Dubster. If all the Latin American countries, if people immigrate here and take it over, it's justified by your own standards, right?
No, not in any sense.
I mean, well, you're fucking buckethead, but like for regular logic thinking people, they'd be doing the same thing that you just said. Your people did whatever long ago.
No. The Indians did not have an immigration office.
Okay. I don't get that.
Now I know you're fucking.
They didn't manage their territory.
They lost war, Dubster. They were
Exactly.
They were taken over. So if they come over here and win, it's fair game, right?
No.
Oh, it's about you. Got it. Let's move on.
Yeah. Enough of Dubster's trolling for one video.
All right, here we go.
Got to do is give me an example. Can you do that?
I never said that.
I'm sorry. All you've got to do is give me an example of an aspect of culture that is protected under Trump that would not have been protected under Harris. Can you do that?
Trans volleyball players.
So just listen. So just listen. When I asked you, good, thank you. When I asked you, why was Trump the lesser of two evils? You listed three things. I then asked you about those three things and asked you to give demonstrations that those things are better protected under Trump than they would have been under Harris. And you have absolutely failed on all three prongs to even make an attempt, even a half-assed attempt, to show how they're better under Trump. And yet for each one of them, I can give examples of how these things are worse under Trump. Do you have an example of anything that is in fact better under Trump?
No trans volleyball players.
And I'm quite sure that.
No. You don't get to go on after
Anthony,
that. I'm going to ask you a follow-up question, and that's when you get to go on.
Has no fucking
opportunities
clue.
to talk about stuff. So if you're now admitting
volleyball
that you have no examples of anything that is better,
no sex change surgeries in preschool.
He doesn't even have the talking points. Like, oh, he's ended 8 wars in 5 days. Like, no, none of them. So like,
I stopped 8 wars. I stopped 11 wars.
Like, this is.
You could have made it better for Trump than this guy.
Yeah, you called it the ringer.
He's a ringer. Yeah, I think he's a ringer, bro. He's here to get stone cold stunnered.
The moderators told me to call in. What?
All right.
I didn't ask you to tell me why the moderators told you to call in. Fucking this up, buddy.
Well, let's I guess keep watching this massacre. See what happens. Here we go. Maybe
What's
puts
your
up a fight.
justification
at some
for
point.
claiming Trump is the better of the lesser of two evils?
Our economy's doing better. The
No, it's
border has
not.
been closed.
No, it hasn't.
And
No,
how many people
good
are
argument.
coming across the border versus when Biden administration was in?
We don't know. We don't know because everything is now done in shadows with masked dudes, and the government is actively scrubbing and hiding information and firing the people who put out the real information about jobs, who put out the real information. How many legal residents or citizens are being deported in this mess of getting rid of everybody? Lots of them. And we've seen its story over and over again. Meanwhile, we've already dealt with borders, Teddy. You failed to defend them. You don't get to bring them up as a success. You don't get to pretend that things are better when you did not defend that they're better. So where's the
Hold
example,
on.
Teddy?
Oh, okay. I see what he's saying now.
Sorry, I didn't have the right answer for you, Matt.
Oh, no. You don't have
What?
the right answer for anyone at all.
Why are you calling in?
You don't
Honestly.
have a right answer. You're making assertions, and when challenged on them, you're just caving. Go ahead, Justin.
Teddy, I think what you're discovering right now is there's a difference between like a right wing way of thinking and a left wing way of thinking. So, for example, right wingers.
There you go. The money.
Oh, fuck. Even with a non-answer having fucking kind of a dummy fucking caller, these fools still wreck themselves with their own fucking statements. Well, there's a left-wing thinking, and then there's right-wing thinking. Fucking genius. Where's the Nobel Prize at for this guy? Sign him up. Holy Christ. I want to hear this explanation. I want to hear this one.
There's just something about the smugness of a liberal. It's crazy.
What the fuck answer is that shit? I need him to make that make sense.
Remember what I said
Yeah,
about
liberals.
Andrew Wilson, where I think that he trolls for the dumbest arguments out there to make himself look good? To me, the line is the left-wing equivalent of that.
Fair enough. Oh my god. Okay, let's hear Justin. I guess his name is Justin. We'll hear this guy's explanation for left-right brain. wait, left-wing brain and right-wing brain. Whatever the fuck he's talking about. Here we go.
What you're discovering right now is there's a difference between like a right wing way of thinking and a left wing way of thinking.
Oh, okay.
So, for example, right wingers are, I'm assuming you're one of them, really get latched onto ideas, like, and then they're told that, well, this is what I'm going to do as president. And you're like, yeah, I like that idea. I want that, right? Whereas Matt and I, we want to know about the data. The idea is kind of useless to us because what we want to know is whatever the idea is it even coming true? Is it even happening, right? So if we look at the border cross, is kind of useless to us because what we want to know is whatever the idea is it even coming true? Is it even happening, right? So if we look at the border crossings.
Okay. Go ahead. Let me go into an example.
So Republicans have ideas and Democrats have the facts, is what this dummy just said. I get that he didn't exactly mean that, but that's what he fucking said. But there's an old saying of Democrats or Republicans have no ideas and Democrats have bad ideas. That's an old saying.
Okay.
It's just a saying. But that's equivocally what he just said was Republicans have ideas, but no facts, no data. Democrats have the data.
I swear both parties fall for empty promises. Let's be honest.
I agree. No, I'm saying it's nonsense what he just said. Democrats don't have ideas. Come on now.
Mr. Dillahunty, you asked for answers. Like, ask him, hey, well, what do you mean by, like, give me an example? That'd be my first statement. Like, hey, give me an example of that. Of, like, I guess campaign rhetoric is what he kind of means when he says that's a weird word to use. Ideas. maybe means rhetoric. Like they're saying, like, I'm going to do this without actually explaining it because they have no actual plans of actually doing the idea they're saying. Right? There's that, which is, I would call it like rhetoric, right? Campaign rhetoric. But I see that from the other team too when it comes to, once again,
No, you don't.
even that thing
you
is
don't.
crazy. What?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Only one side has ideas. The other side has data.
Well, it's just crazy, like, to even put, like, the idea of, let's say Trump versus Harris or Biden, like, to put that in the category of, that's left-wing and that's right-wing. Even that's, like, a misnomer to me, like, off-rip. But let's say we're going with that. They both do fucking campaign rhetoric shit. Kamala Harris is doing everything she can to get a ceasefire for Gaza. Was she? Was her and Biden doing that? Were they? Please, Matt Dillahunty, give me the data on that one, please. Or fuckface Justin. Please, show me the data for that. Dummies. What are they talking about? I need to hear a specific example. I guess he's bringing it up now. Well, in regards to the border. Here we go.
Even coming true? Is it even happening, right? So if we look at the border crossings and the apprehensions and the deportations, no administration ever has deported more than the Biden administration. So we sent more people back over the border than anybody else in history. And it didn't do anything to improve our economy because our economy isn't really that affected by illegal immigration. In fact, most of these people
got some bad data,
as illegal immigrants
got some bad data
with a 6-month visa, and then they just overstay it. They're not people that are like peddling drugs across the border. They're not people trying to like swim across rivers and sneak in. Most illegal immigrants come in legally and they just don't go back home, right? But the reality is that, so I've worked in manufacturing almost my entire life. I've met a lot of illegal aliens, a ton of them, more than I can count. And you know what? They all fucking pay taxes just like you. In fact, one of them I was personally friends with at a place that I used to work with. When he got his first paycheck, he didn't know why there was so much money coming out of it.
A lot do.
And we had to tell him it was because you have an illegal Social Security number, and the guy that you got it
pay in a lot
has
more
like 4
than they're
kids he's
ever
paying
going to
child
get
support
out.
for, and now you're paying child support on top of it. So the reality is, yeah, some of them will come over illegally. Most of them work. And they have a lower incident rate of breaking the law as well. I know you're going to watch the news and you're going to see, oh, here's an illegal immigrant that did a terrible thing. And that's horrible that it happens. But if you just look at the numbers, by the numbers, illegal immigrants do far less crime than native-born Americans. And even like where I live, we have a lot of immigrants that come over legally from Burma and Nepal and places out there. They have a much higher rate of starting local businesses, much higher rate of sending their kids to our local college, much higher rate of being involved in even in voting, depending on the situation. So like the reality is, like, if you actually go look at the numbers, don't get tied up in the ideas. The ideals are useless to you. Your political party has roped you into thinking that I need to buy into these ideas and vote for these ideas, when what you should be voting for are actual real outcomes, the outcomes that you're feeling in the real world. Because if all you're ever doing is just looking at the idea and then saying, how do I feel? Well, you're not getting real data. You're getting feelings. Your opinion on who's in office is just a big, trust me, bro, I feel good. Therefore, the idea must be working. But as soon as you drill into those numbers, it's going to fall apart, buddy.
It's hard for me to hear that and say well, how is that not the case on both teams? I see, how is that not the thing there?
No, we look at the same data you just cited on the right, and we would say, okay, you're saying that illegals break the law less. Them being illegal is breaking the law. So they've already broken the law the second they're here. So that's all put to moot, M-O-O-T.
Okay,
the rest of what you're saying.
His argument was saying that a lot of them enter legally and then overstay.
Which is illegal.
Yeah, but initially they're doing it legally. That was kind of one of his points.
Yeah, the second it's no longer legal, it's illegal.
You're like the blockheadedness, Dubster. The blockheadedness of this is
once you violate a visa, you're breaking the law.
okay.
Here's a question worth asking yourself. If somebody overstays their visa, who really gets hurt? I don't. I don't think Jordan does.
The hosting country.
Josh, do you get hurt when somebody overstays their visa?
Don't ask him to unmute while he's seasoning meat. Let him stay over
All
there.
right, Hickory, do you suddenly feel slighted or insulted in some way?
It's not about feelings.
If an
It's about
immigrant overstays his visa?
No, not really.
It's not about your feelings. It's about
Do you
facts.
suddenly feel a rib breaking?
What does someone
Your
violating
argument
their
is
visa?
all about feeling. You realize that, right?
No, it isn't. What is the?
What was your things? Your things were culture and assimilation. Those are feel things, right? What is your data for assimilation? What is the data for that?
How does someone violating their visa affect the country? It affects the economics. That's what it does because they're here.
No, you can't just say that your feelings.
I'm fucking saying it right now.
You're saying you can't just say it, you have to explain it. Like really explain it.
Yeah,
I'm saying it right now. I'm saying it right now. How does it affect the economics? Well, if they're here illegally, they're going to be doing something to maintain themselves. That is normally called a job. And that means that's a job an American can't have because someone that's not supposed to even be here is now taking the economics away from an American that could be contributing to himself, to our tax system, and supporting our structure.
So if every illegal immigrant
times that by 30 million, if they're all in that exact scenario of violating their passports and they just got jobs, that means that's 30 million jobs that Americans don't have that they're paying the taxes on. That affects the economy. That's the least
That's
way.
not the way the economy works. I just want to be very clear that that's not the way the economy works. Let's say those 30 million people, if we'll use your number, 30 million, I don't know, but we'll just use it. If there's 30 million people here and
that
they're
shouldn't
working,
be here.
Well, but I'm using your exact scenario, and you're
violated their visas means they're not supposed to be here.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Jess, but just give me a quick moment. So, if all 30 million immigrants or whatever the fuck the number is, if all of them blinked out of existence, they just disappear, nobody knows where they went, they're just gone. Is the economy suddenly better for the average American?
Yes, because that means there's 30 million jobs for Americans that are now available.
Not really.
It's not that simple, Dubster.
Yeah, it is.
Dubster is not that
It is
simple.
that simple.
You said it. You said something earlier in this video.
They all consume. They all pay for
Americans don't want to work.
It's not just one side of the equation. They're buying things. They're spending it's not that's not how the economy works. Where you
they're
just
lowering the wages, and they're buying products that they're using our resources.
But they're not going to raise
it all adds up when they buy things.
It all adds up.
Buying does.
By you eliminating the immigrants, you're not raising the wages, Dubster. Not in every industry.
Yes, you are, because it becomes competitive.
And
it becomes more competitive.
And let me handle this.
Literally trickle down. Literally trickle down.
Dubster.
You're hoping that happens. You don't know that.
Are you making this just a guy look smart, Dubster? How dare you? Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
If all the immigrants suddenly disappeared, this fucking stampede that these AI clowns are on would continue, and people like me would still be jobless. In fact, the stampede would probably ramp up even more.
You're choosing to be jobless if that's the case. We all do it sometimes.
Sure.
Whoa.
Sure, I'm choosing to be jobless. Sure.
You could get a job at McDonald's right now.
All right, go apply to McDonald's then.
I don't want to work at McDonald's.
Who told you to go work at? Who told you to go work at
There's a
McDonald's?
lot of jobs
I said
going
go
on
apply to McDonald's.
that
I don't need to. I have my job pays what 2.5 times more than that. And if we
So
had the proper
disability isn't
economy,
real.
my job be paying 5 times more than that.
Whose fault's that?
That's
I
because
mean,
of
well, we could
immigrants.
inflate it to pay that much.
Biden's,
We can
Obama's,
inflate it.
Clinton's.
I can hear you laughing, Dubster. I
Oh,
think
fuck.
you trolled that one right there.
Include Trump. Both Bushes had nothing to do. The crash 07 was Obama, right? He crashed the country. in 07.
No, I would say the Bush Jr. definitely had something to do with it.
Is Bush a Democrat?
Nope.
You're
Okay.
right, all right.
Just that if the
shit.
economy worked the way, like, just because there's more people, they take away your jobs, then less people would there magically be more jobs? If we cut the number of people
Yes.
in the United States
It
in
wouldn't be
half,
magic.
would there
It
be
wouldn't be magic.
if you
Wouldn't there be less
remove
demand?
100 million people from the United States, right? Would there be 100 million more jobs? It doesn't work that way.
There'd be less jobs because there's less production needed for less people. Right?
It's
Do you agree
all
with that,
it's
Dubster,
all
or
an
no?
Necessarily.
ecosystem.
Not necessarily.
Okay, what do you mean?
Explain. Explain.
Like I said, Jordan, as this fucking AI rampage continues, more and more and more of those fucking entry-level jobs that a lot of people depend on to survive disappear. They're not replaced with anything. They're not fucking. They're not gonna fucking pay people anyway. There's not any universal basic income of any sort. It's just gone.
I mean, I think a lot of these mega farms that are hiring cheap labor to get by, they're using that as a way to leap from there right to fucking automated fucking crop pickers and all this shit. Like,
It's already started.
Yeah, I'm sure it already has.
Let's start with the cotton gin.
But either way, the point is.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Like, you're most fucked by other Americans, illegal immigrants. I'm sorry. You're most fucked by actual Americans, right? People that you would have to accept, right? By your standards.
You're saying technology will inevitably do this. By deporting illegals, it would slow that down for your inevitable idea. It would.
No, I'm saying
but I don't even believe in the inevitable idea of that will all be put out of work, because we're not going to accept the AI takeover anyway. We're going to reject it.
There's plenty of shit we don't accept. We still get.
I'm saying Americans are going to, like, the little fantasy you have about how things should work. There are Americans with way more resources than you working against that night and day.
I understand it. I understand that there's a lot of selfishness that is compromising people with more, let's say, economic power.
They're just getting ahead, though, right?
No, they are getting
it's legal,
ahead,
right?
It is legal. It shouldn't be.
Okay. Based on American culture, are they even Americans? What do we call them? Are they following American culture?
No, you're talking about antitrust laws. That's what you're really talking about.
I'm talking about, like, your sense of, like, that seems, like, unfair and, like,
that's the actual answer. It's the antitrust laws. Like, the idea of merging giant corporations to be a giant corporation that's completely going in the technology way, not considering the community in any sense. There used to be balance to it, but that's gone out the window for over 100 years.
Probably longer than that, right?
It was always going to go out the window eventually.
Wasn't there always winners and losers, straight up?
Yep.
Then the winners try to double their winnings at the cost of maybe someone else maybe having a chance to win.
We have, for a long time, It's one things I think Theodore Roosevelt had a good idea about, but it meant nothing. Was like the fight back of like you can't just be a giant corporation for the sake of you're growing your wealth and you're undermining the whole idea of community and nation by doing this. But
Which is feels,
he didn't
right?
even, yeah, he didn't have any substance behind his limiting of like ending monopolies.
Do you mean FDR?
And
Or do you mean, or is that Teddy?
Theodore, no, it was
Okay, yeah.
Theodore. It was against the big one was Rockefeller.
Yeah, he still ended up winning though. It's crazy.
Right. As soon as it was over, it was 1907 or 1908. He basically made a law saying you can't be one giant corporation. You must split up the company between states at least. And
They had the right
that still didn't matter. Standard Oil, yeah, Standard Oil. It was Standard Oil versus. It was a court case. So I don't know if it was what it was. Standard
Fair
Oil
enough.
versus something. You could read it.
Fair
You know,
enough.
it's called a concession. And the wealthy motherfuckers that really run the show will always claw those back eventually.
Oh yeah, they let them merge as soon as like
So that
5
means
years later.
So that means
think it was-
monopolies are inevitable.
Yeah.
It's not an accident. It's the end goal.
Right.
I think if there was zero
And
illegal immigration,
we do have antitrust laws that are supposed to never let that happen.
Yeah,
and
sure enough, we have
they've
anti-murder
ignored
laws
it
too.
for a stupid long time.
Yeah, we have anti-murder laws too, but look what happens.
Right. Right.
But like,
We have anti-fraud laws too.
I think if there was no illegal immigrants, they would still find a way to pay you as cheap as they pay them. So thus, you're still just losing, bro, because there's no attack at the actual problem, in my humble opinion. Thus, you get stuck.
Well,
you get stuck here, man.
That's exactly the
They
point
just
I was
abuse
making,
things.
Jordan. If all the
Your
immigrants
ability-
disappeared, this economic misery would continue and probably increase because then we suddenly don't even have a decent fucking taco place to go to.
And Joe, it's almost like they want you to focus more on immigrants than just like when they want you to focus on fighting the left versus the right and the right versus the left. The same thing with immigrants, where they're just regular people. Like, yeah, focus on attacking them. Go at those guys. Make them your problem. While they
focus on radical left Joe Biden letting all the immigrants in.
While they're openly snatching your chain, stealing your wallet, they're openly doing it. You're like, look at these immigrants though. And it fucking worked.
I don't even have a chain.
Like, it fucking worked.
Your ability.
It worked up there. It worked, right?
Your ability to contract with your employer significantly increases once the undermining of the wage by someone that will do it cheaper is significantly reduced.
No, they'll just screw you over later. Just like you also argue for no minimum wage, right? Personally, Dubster, right? You don't want any mandate of minimum wage, right? Or no? Or are you okay with that? Have I heard your take on that?
In the general sense, yes, there should not be a minimum wage.
Okay.
But
and what if someone pretended to be on your team?
How people practice employment today is no resemblance of what it was like before. What was it? It was 1880s when the minimum wage arguments were.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what if someone
essentially made?
What if someone's pretending to be have the same sentiment that you have in regards to minimum wage? So let's say get rid of it, and you think they're following what you believe is what you want to happen, but meanwhile they're actually just getting rid of it so they can pay American workers cheap as fuck, and they actually collude with other companies to do so.
It's always on you. It's always on you, the individual, to contract your employment. So it's you to make yourself more valuable and then recognize the value you are bringing.
Yeah, but you just said the government itself is bringing in illegal immigrants, used to, as far as you've said before, like
Right,
open borders on
and them
purpose
doing that,
to subjugate the
them
American
doing that,
worker, right? You said that, right?
and doing that
Why wouldn't they do that with
undermines.
minimum wage? Why wouldn't they
Well,
do that there?
you with a brain need to be on top of that anyway with yourself.
And
Okay.
who has all the leverage in the employer-employee relationship?
The man that stands on his own 2 feet.
Yeah, but if you have a bunch of people starving, right? Or actually, like lockouts in sports, right? Where you have a guy who's not a major league baseball player or a famous, star athlete person, but all the pros are protesting, so they're not playing, and they're like, "Hey, if you don't take the call up to come play in the league, we'll pick someone else because someone else is dying to take that position, right? Across the fucking line."
You better figure out fast how to invest.
See,
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh
You better
my
figure out
God.
something.
It's all fucked.
You better figure out something.
With what money?
You don't need money to invest.
Wait, what?
You need a brain to invest.
Yes, you do need money. Oh my God.
You need assets, right? At
No,
the
you
very
don't.
least, right?
No, you don't.
You don't need assets.
You can do what's called a sandwich lease option. Here we go.
Oh my
Does
God.
not require your money. It is contracts.
He will fight
Contracts
tooth and nail
101.
for this. Dubster, don't be that guy that gives up Christ so easily, but fights tooth and nail for an economy. Don't be that guy, and for
Sandwich lease
deporting
option.
people.
Learn what it is.
Holy Christ!
Learn what it is. It
Let's
is
move on.
contracting.
Sorry.
Everything's contracting in this country.
All right, I'm gonna be honest. I think the caller in this show is kind of meh. He's kind of whatever to me. So I do appreciate more of you guys arguing than the video itself, honestly. So please argue away, and that can be the video right there, because I think the caller just doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and he's getting lectured to, instead of having like real pushback for these guys arguing. Unless you guys want me to just hit play on the video. I think there's a decent conversation happening right now that's more worthy than the fucking shit I'm watching. I'll leave it up to you guys.
Well, hold on. I'll put it at least this way. The simple idea of like you compare it to what's commonly stereotypical of what an illegal alien will do, like mowing a yard or something. What you as an individual can always do is say, hey, I'll knock on this door and I'll ask them if they want me to mow their lawn, and here's my rate. You don't like it, knock on the next door. That's what I simply mean by contracting. Everything's contracting. Yes, they're your employer because they accept to pay you this amount for you to do this service.
Fair enough, but like...
I'm sure that 1950s view of the world is very precious to you.
Yeah, I mean... Even that's been like, they've cornered the market even on simple shit like that, right? If you're a kid, say, hey, let me deliver newspapers, or let me, I'll shovel your driveway for $10 or something like that, right? Even that's kind of disappearing.
One of those is already dead with the advent of the internet, and the other the other might as well be on life support.
I mean, I'm just saying, they're becoming...
Before I moved out of Kansas City, I saw this news story about, it was obviously a black guy was mowing an old lady's yard, and he wasn't even getting paid. He was just assisting her, but he got arrested for cutting her grass without a business license. Like, they went out of their way. I don't know why they did this. It was obviously, it seemed kind of racist. But
well, that's probably an isolated, scenario.
Oh yeah, it became a huge story in the area. It was like, oh dude, this is almost a civil rights issue.
It's because they have their own people that cut, and they're only allowed. They're the ones allowed to cut, and it's super high priced. is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Well,
why this happened. But
You know what we call that? We call that a cartel.
Yeah.
A monopoly.
and it's also anecdotal. Like, I think there was way more to it than the news story ever told us.
There's
No,
an
that's
objective reality to what happened there, and the public is never going to know it.
yeah. There's information that came out about that. Like he didn't. He, the judge threw out the fine because he wasn't even like charging to do that.
Right. He was volunteering
Yeah.
for some old lady. So
Yeah.
and they arrested him for practicing a business without a license.
Right. So since he didn't actually have any commercial interest, he didn't charge. That's why it was thrown out.
Is there a scenario where, because once again, my assessment of why things suck ass, or at least the way like people deal with each other sucks ass, is there a scenario where if they don't have that law, someone gets taken advantage of? Right? That the law that where they got someone who was doing something not innocent, right? And they got in trouble for it. What's the scenario when they do something that they're not being innocent or doing something actually corrupt? For like the reason why the law exists in the first place, because they have to justify it somehow.
Justify it. Yeah, they justify it, and it's for that specific one. It's the scariness of like a house invader knocking on your door.
No, it's got to be something where they can make it where it would be justified in a way. So that's what laws are. They're fucking in case shit.
This is a profitable business. You must pay for licensing.
And who do you think
And
really
why
writes
do you
those
need
laws?
licensing? So that you're registered, right?
I would argue
so that
don't. I would argue that you don't.
Isn't the idea like if you fuck up, you can be liable for it, right? As a business.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the idea, right? You're on the books essentially.
The idea behind a license is that you have demonstrated some degree of competence in this discipline.
Yeah.
And responsibility. Yes, you can be sued for it.
And it would be
if something goes wrong.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I'd want a doctor operating on me if he recently got his license revoked for something.
Exactly. So there's like actual reasons, like healthy reasons to why you want to look out for shit like that. So it's like at the end of the day, like what is the actual problem then? Because having it, you can get fucked. Not having it, you can get fucked. So what are we actually aiming at trying to stop? What are we aiming at as people?
Right. There's no actual for mowing grass. There's no expertise really needed. Like a doctor needs that expertise.
No, well,
I mean, after 4 years of med school, another 4 years of residency, and probably several more years of subspecialty training. On top of having to stay on top of emerging technology in that field.
That applies to them too.
Yeah.
That applies to them
But
too.
if you're 12 years old and your dad said go cut the grass 3 times, you're now qualified to cut grass.
It's not less so about qualification. It's more of like in comparison, right? The guy the little kid that's cutting his front yard's grass is not the same as the guy that takes care of Yankee Stadium, right? Who's like a grounds crew guy. That guy's years of experience, knows all the grass seeds to the mowers to all, like knows every little thing. Make sure these things are fucking oiled, otherwise they're gonna get rusty and fuck up.
He's not called the same thing either.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are you picking a fight with groundskeeper Willie?
It's just like, yeah, there's
grease me up, woman.
Levels to everything. Honestly.
Right. And there's landscapers when it comes to mansions getting their grass cut. Like I don't know exact term, but I'm guessing it's landscaper whenever you're talking about pruning the bushes plus mowing the grass.
Yeah, that's landscaping. Yeah. For sure. Notifying the fucking owner, hey, you got a patch of grass here not coming in. the dog pissing there or something, or it's like whatever, right? So,
But supposedly the kid that's cutting the grass just down the street technically is supposed to have a license to do it too. But they'll let a little leeway go with kids usually. Like
like lemonade
what was
stands
it?
too, right? Isn't that a
There
thing?
was a there was a crackdown on lemonade stands in a place I lived before where they just said you have to have a license to a 7-year-old.
I'm pretty sure that's where the Karen thing kind of came from in a way, right? The kids selling like candy bars or fucking lemonade or whatever the fuck they're selling, right? To make $10 in profit or something, right? It's like,
Right.
Yeah, 'cause
Some
it-
Karen flipped out on them on
He's a kid.
camera.
The kid needs another fucking $10 so he can, I don't know, go buy the next Sonic the Hedgehog game or something.
well, what if he sells a candy bar that's out of date by accident? Like, who's liable for this? It's like, yeah, can't we just be fucking humans, right? And they try to dig down into the scenario, but instead we write laws on top of laws on top of more laws, and if you actually look at it, nothing really changes in a way.
We don't really get to write a lot of the laws, Jordan.
Well, yes, and
There's a tiny group of people up top who really get to decide what the laws are.
Well, they don't actually. Like, if we wanted to, we'd fucking regular people could run shit if they wanted to. But go ahead.
Well, there needs to be a critical mass of them first.
Yeah.
That lemonade stand didn't pay its taxes. That's the real issue.
And once again, it's just to like kind of encapsulate it, if we circle back to the immigration topic, whether they stay or go, I think you run into the same problems anyways because you're not dealing with the actual problem.
I'll say it again.
Who's abusing everyone either way? Let's be
If all
honest
the
about that.
immigrants blink out of existence tomorrow, your economic misery will continue.
It's the
and
same.
It will probably get worse.
It's the same thing you were
I will
saying
be
before,
right back.
Dubster. All right, it's the same thing you were saying about slavery, Dubster, right? These fools fought in the Civil War. The overwhelming majority did not own slaves. They did not have their own personal fucking slaves, shit like that, right? They did their own fucking work, essentially.
Well, they made multiple arguments. It wasn't just about slavery. It was about state rights versus federal rights. So they had another
Yeah, I'm
convincing
sure they got
thing
tricked.
there.
I'm sure they got tricked by
Hold on.
someone into doing what they were doing.
It was also you live here. Here comes that army. Are you going to defend here and your neighbor, or are you going to?
That's called the war on terror, Dubster. I would not be
Are you
surprised.
going to desert?
Yeah, but I would not be surprised if the same kind of psychological tools or PR moves or propaganda got a bunch of people to go to war with each other that never met each other in their lives, don't know anything about each other, just like, boom, you're at war now. You can apply that same thing to fucking war on terror. Are you going to sit back and do nothing when Osama bin Laden rolls up on your shores, huh? Right? It's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing. And if the masses were like, we're not having a war here, there would be no war. They would have no choice. It's a bunch of loudmouths with megaphones saying this is the case, so thus you have to do this. And a bunch of people get teary-eyed and awe-inspired. Like, oh my God, what a leader. And they just follow it. And it's like, you fucking dummies.
Hold on. Well, the simplest war starts between two individuals. And then they say, well, I can't win. I'm not sure I can win against this guy. I need my friends. And the other side would say, oh shit, he brought his friends. I need to go get my friends. Oh, well, I don't want my friends to get hurt, nor me, so let's go get some idiots that will fight for us. And that's two layers now. I mean, you just built an army right there with three separate layers. You have the original starter of the battles. They're the kings. Then you have your knights or whatever, your buddies. And then you got your cannon fodder. Yeah, then you got your cannon fodder level, the ones that actually do the fighting.
And which plantation owner and which plantation owner's kids fought in the fucking Civil War. I want to say
Exactly.
next to nothing, right?
You got Lincoln's son for America. Of all of its
But he
history.
grew up poor though.
Until
as
you
gout.
get then you got George Bush Jr. No, it wasn't Junior.
What?
No, it was
Who are you talking about?
was George Bush Jr. ever part of the military?
Yes.
But he was a higher rank. So he wasn't even in battle. Right?
I think he wasn't he Air Force or something? I feel like I remember him standing next to planes and shit like that. But never saw any combat, I believe. Right? Or something like that. Like he joined, but he didn't actually fight in anything. I don't know what he would be fighting in anyways. Maybe Vietnam, I guess. Right? That would be what he would have fought in. But he had a way to
Possibly.
not fight in that. Either way.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's so much time left. I'm almost done with this. I'll let it play for a bit. Let's just play it. Here we go. Here's more of the MAGA caller and the atheist. All right, here we go.
I would like, can I talk now, sir?
I wonder if I delay that.
Would like to apologize
What?
to Matt and Justin and all of the people in here saying all these horrible things about me. The only reason I called in was because the moderators wouldn't let me post anything anymore, sir. Because I mentioned about I was happy that Trump had won, that he was the lesser of two evils. So that the people were telling me to call in because they didn't like what I had posted. And Matt, I'm sorry to interrupt, sir, but Matt, you were doing your first opening monologue talking about the politics that were happening today, and I agreed with what you were saying, but I was just making a simple statement, and people didn't like it. So now
you agreed with me. You agreed with me, and then you said the opposite, and people called you out.
Pardon me, sir?
You're saying you agreed with my opening statement.
I agreed with the things that you were saying because I agree, and I've been paying attention to what's going on in this country today, the United States. I know people from all over the world listening to me, but all I was saying was a simple thing, and this all started because the moderator told me to call in. And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but Teddy, I don't need you to cry about. I don't need you to cry about what the moderators did. It's
Bro,
weird
you
that
sent for this,
you
dude.
agreed with my opening statement, and then you so
he's towing the line
in some sense by saying you're glad Trump won.
Tiptoeing because he's been censored.
Okay, yeah, I can officially stop that right there. I mean, listen, the pressure be in here, and I agree with what you're saying.
They censored his written responses on however this goes out. So now he's tiptoeing on everything.
Probably a not so confident guy trying to do some argumentation. There's not even doing argumentation, just like, hey, why am I getting banned for or whatever? Why am I getting blocked? And then I'm sure he got weaseled down like, yo, debate him then. Go debate him then. Right, I'm sure that happened. I'm sure they jump like vultures as soon as they say, wait, what? MAGA, or sorry, Trump is a lesser of evils? Lesser of two evils? Fuck you. And they probably just fucking hyena, fucking gang tackle shit. But yeah, okay. I'm not here for Matt Dillahunty and his viewers, I guess, therapy sessions with each other. I'm ready to walk away from this. All right, there's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I'm fucking hungry as shit right now. I'm not gonna lie. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Agree or disagree. Probably less so with this call, and more so with the Discord here arguing. Maybe comment more on that. Or do whatever you want. If you see something interesting to your own beliefs or whatever, please let it be known. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. Yes, we are in that Discord. Yes, all opinions are welcome. Even if you think Trump is the lesser of two evils or Harris would be the lesser of two evils or whatever. Please let it be known. All opinions are welcome, and obviously everything I showed you in this video will be linked in that same description box for you to look at on your own, you know, without us pausing, interrupting, me leaving the call because my internet's lagging, whatever. You know, please go take advantage of that. And with all that said, most importantly, give this video a thumbs down. Whee! There's no Joe here to help me exit this. Whatever. Pause.
Say you wanna get in, and then you wanna